can we get it out there? I was like, I can hop on a live anytime. Just let me know.
Hopping on a live anytime and just let me know.
And we did.
It's my second live today, believe it or not.
Well, believe it or not, my third. We're such a sluts.
We totally are. And talking about sluts, we are here to talk to you about something that changed our lives, and it's called the business done different.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I was not impressed by this class. It didn't, seriously, I was wondering, I didn't, it didn't attract me. And I'm talking to all the people that are like, oh, well, business done different. And I was like, good class. I'll take it one day, that kind of energy. And then you asked me to play with the class and I was like, okay, let's do it. And after 5 minutes of the class started, I was like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this before. And I get goosebumps again because that moment that I was so grateful for you actually kicking my ass and getting my ass on that class. No, but you laugh about it, but that gratitude in my world is still there, where I was like, oh my God, Rach, if you had not kicked my ass choosing this class, I would have missed so many possibilities.
If I was to do so, okay, so I asked you to have a conversation with me today, and the very reason I asked you was because people come in and they choose this class. It's a 3-day class, and it literally tears apart every single point of view you have about business and money. It literally catapults you to a new reality. And we're 10 minutes into a class or an hour into a 3-day class, and people are like, oh my God, this class, for what reason haven't I chosen it before? And that, you basically deliver the essence of it. So I would like to ask you, like, when you weren't choosing it, was it that you didn't even recognize that you weren't willing to receive how much more ease it would bring with business and money? Or what is it that stops that, taking the leap and jumping?
It's interesting because if I look at my point of view that I had, it was like, oh, well, I don't need that.
Okay, cool.
Which awesome. Is one of the most common point of views that we have when it comes to business or money classes. Like either we think we need it so much and then we're not choosing it because we use money as an excuse, or we think we don't need it and then you choose it for whatever reason. In this case, because you asked me to choose it and I was like, so I chose. And I was like, oh my God, I was not willing to have so much ease with business. It was still that working hard and still like, this conversation where it started 3 minutes and I have goosebumps all over again because those awarenesses that this class gave me keep changing my life every day.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, it's the same for me. So, I mean, I keep one on my desk and it's my go-to. So would you like to open up the manual? And I wonder what this book can contribute, what this class can contribute. If you're watching and you're in a place where business isn't fun for you and you genuinely are looking for something greater, you're not pretending, you actually really are willing to have something greater, stay tuned and let's see what Miss Saskia will open up.
So, outcreating in the industry standard. What if instead of aligning and agreeing and resisting and reacting, you could choose to outcreate? How many times do you create something greater and because no one else is doing it, you go less than? The wrongness of you. What would it take to create this like no one else has ever done before? That's the reality of possibilities.
Oh my goodness me, I'm so grateful you brought this up. So when I was a young JCF, I'm a JCF a couple of years now, it was starting these classes was like, I'm pushing the elephant up the stairs, the REM, I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. And it, it was like these classes were so dynamically different that people didn't get them. They didn't get joy in business, and it was so different. And I'm grateful for you. You brought me to the Netherlands, and you know, when you did the first 1 day class, you were like, whoa, these tools, and you had the tools written all over your fridge. So what I know now today, what you read in that piece, is that I function very different with business. I function from, what is it that I can contribute? What's the change that we can create? And what can I bring to someone's life that's going to be more valuable than what I collect from them in cash or receive from them in cash? So this is something that is dynamically different. Would you like to talk about what that piece is for you?
It's funny because one of the things that I had to acknowledge, and it was before this class that I acknowledged it, but it, you know, became even more clear, is that we create everything. So even if we create destroying our business, or if we create stopping the flow of our business, we are still doing it ourselves. And I never forget, it was so funny. We had a whole weekend of creations, and I was in this space of, okay, shoot me now. I gotta take a job. Like, no one is looking for what I'm offering. Just stop this, whatever it was. And it was not so long ago. It was like 6 weeks or maybe 8 weeks ago. I was like, stop this shit. And Vanessa, you know, for the people who know her, she's my PA, my friend, and she was sitting on the chair and she was looking at me. And I was remembering, you know, Vanessa, she would be like,
She's just like, do, 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 do.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
you just go on your little rant, and I'll just sit here and, you know, I'll just be here with you, you know.
Exactly. So the thing is, now wait for it. I was standing against my fridge and I was going, rah, 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 rah. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna open this manual and we're just gonna see what happens. So she opened the manual, and I was walking up and down the stairs, and she was running after me doing this class.
She is so cute.
And they were so talking to the energy about defining stuff, about making it linear, about, you know, the whole crack. And she did it for like 15 minutes.
Oh, Vanessa, we love you.
I swear to God, people started registering. The class started growing, and I had my best month ever. I'm not, like, I get goosebumps again. I'm not joking you. This manual, that afternoon, that moment where she was like, you know what? We just pick up the manual and we see what happens. And it was like,
oh, and you know, this is a story of change. One of the things that I know, my legs are running a while now with this consciousness crack, and consciousness is the process which will change everything in your life. And what I know now is that you attract people, you attract wealth, you attract money, you attract clients, by who you be. And when you're willing to be great, and when you're willing to, like what you talked about, be vulnerable about your points of views about business is too hard, I'm working too much, this is not easy, I'm done with this, I want to give up. Being an entrepreneur and being someone who is willing to create something greater in the world is not an easy job. It requires courage, tenacity, commitment, which you have. And so it's amazing that moment. Gary Douglas, the creator of Access, always says, when you want to give up, there is way more success available to you than you've ever had ever before. And I remember saying to Simone Millises, the creator of Joy Business, will it always be like this? She said, yes, it will.
but don't tell me that it always will be like.
Yeah, but guess what?
It gets greater.
Now so you know, these are the energies that have stopped you from having that effort less, you know, in your business and your life. So yeah, so come join me. I mean, there's a lot of Joy Business facilitators all over the world, phenomenal people from the Netherlands to India to the States. And yeah, I mean, what would you say to someone who's like, will I go to the class? Won't I go to the class?
Go to the class. Yeah, you know, well, you know, this is, if you look at the energy that we're presenting right now, you know whether this is something you desire or something you're resisting. And if there's no right and wrong, even if you like to resist it for a little bit longer, you know, I resist ease very, very often. But what?
Oh, oh my goodness. I mean, like, honestly, what I've been looking at is this class is all about like ease with business and money, and man, do I like to suffer and do I like to make it difficult sometimes. But guess what, Sask? It's getting less and less and less every single day. Yeah.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And the joy of business tools, well, you know, doesn't have to do anything with business. It really has to be, it really has to do with what you are being in your life. And when you would be willing to receive the tools in that way, it gives you clearings that will leap you beyond the suffering and the hard and the wrongness of this reality. And you'd be just like, you know, I'm in favor of my business, I'm in favor of my life, I'm in favor of consciousness. Now, what else can I choose and create that makes the world a better place? And then everything shifts.
I am not going to say anything more after that, because that energetically speaks a billion words. And thank you for being in the world. Thank you for taking the Business Done Different class. Thank you for leaping. And, you know, thank you for having the courage and the tenacity to always show up and reach for the greatness of you. This is what this is all about, is reaching for the greatness of you and being that.
And you know how beautiful, you know, these tools, you can follow them anywhere. You can follow them online classes. I'm actually going to have you in Pixie in October. How did I get so lucky? And, you know, who else shows up? I wonder.
I wonder. Ask for the magic. What are the magic and miracles available to us today? Thanks for being in my life, Sask, and thanks so much for being in the world.
Bye.
Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.